I'm Gemma. Welcome to your practice for today. We're going to be taking a completely laid back approach to our yoga practice today. Everything we do today is going to be laying on the back. And we're going to use that opportunity to take our attention to the smaller details of our practice, releasing tension from the back of the head all the way down to the tip of the tailbone, using the floor as a reference point. And so for today's practice, I am going to get you to grab a hold of a brick or a block if you've got one. If you've not, you can probably use a book, like a relatively sturdy book. I would recommend a Harry Potter book, actually, if you've got one laying around. If not, anything will do. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a little roll in the top of the mat. Now, if you prefer not to roll your mat, you can use like a towel, just rolled up into like a little sausage shape. If you are using your mat, I'm going to get you to roll about the top third, maybe a half of the mat, depending on how much lift you want. And then you're going to bring yourself to lay down with that roll just underneath the shoulder blades. So making sure that as you roll yourself down, it settles underneath the shoulder blades. So it's not on the shoulders, it's not up above the shoulders, it's just underneath the shoulder blades. For the time being, we're going to keep the knees bent. You can either take the feet wider, drop the knees in towards one another, or you can just leave them floating about hip distance apart. And then I want you to grab a hold of this brick. You're going to take it up onto that highest level and you're going to bring it to rest underneath the back of your head. So it feels like your head is just delicately balanced on the edge of that brick. You can take a little time to adjust it, to try and find the right place for you. And then I want you to let your arms rest out at your side, so relatively wide because now we've got that roll in the mat. Close the eyes, take a nice big deep breath in. And then a deep breath all the way out. After all of that fidgeting and fussing to get down here, giving yourself a couple of breaths to settle, to relax. Then I want you to take the whole of your attention into that little point at the back of your skull that is just delicately resting on the edge of your block. And then you're going to start to roll the head from side to side. So really slowly easing the head out towards the right, bringing it back to the center, and then easing it out towards the left. So you're just rolling along that ridge at the back of the skull. Keep easing from side to side, noticing all of the details of this movement, all of the little lumps and bumps, any little cracks or crunches. Once more to the right and then out to the left. Notice all of the tension that's held at the back of the head here. And I want you to ease your head out towards the right, and I want you to find that delicate little tender spot just out behind the ear, and you're going to rest on that. Take a couple of breaths here, and if it really feels like you can't hold here for any length of time, take the weight ever so slightly off. Ease away from the edge of that pose. And we're going to hold here for about 5 breaths. Let each exhalation be an invitation to soften something somewhere in your body. It might be that the whole of your attention right now needs to be focused on that spot at the back of the head. It might be that you notice that you're holding on a little bit tighter than necessary somewhere else in the body. Maybe the abdomen, lower back, maybe the shoulders. We're going to take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, I want you to gently ease the head back towards the center. And then take it all the way over to the left. So same thing out to the left side again. Find that little tender spot just round about behind the left ear. And hold the weight of the head on that spot. Keep the breath as smooth and rhythmic as you can. Breathing right the way down into the belly. Releasing right the way out again. 2 or 3 more breaths here. Softening the body. If you enjoy this sense of release, if you're somebody that suffers with tension headaches and you want to stay here a little while longer, then you can pause the video and just keep easing the head from side to side. One more breath. Gently rolling the head back to the center when you're ready. Take a pause here. Feel the neck lengthen. And then bringing those hands up to the side of the block, lifting the head up and away. Slide the block down to your side. We're going to come back to it later. And then rest the head back down on the floor. Either bringing those arms out wide at your side, or if you prefer, if your shoulders feel comfortable, I want you to bring the arms up above the head. And then you're going to move your attention down from the back of the head towards the back of the shoulders. Close the eyes again, keep that head delicately perched in the center. Rest your awareness now on this roll in the mat, that lift in the center of the chest. Take a nice big deep breath in and feel the stretch through the whole of the rib cage. Again, that exhale, a reminder to soften something somewhere in the body. So what we're doing here by adding that little lift at the back of the body is counteracting any hunching through the upper body. For somebody that works at a desk, or maybe you spend a lot of time sitting in a car, inevitably we get that rounding through the shoulders. That kind of closing of the front of the body. And so what we're doing here is just counteracting that, creating a sense of space in which we can breathe deeply into the chest, as well as release up through the sides of the waist. I'm going to add a little twist into this. So I want you to roll yourself over onto your right side now, keeping that roll in the mat underneath the rib cage. Right arm is going to come out to your side, left arm is going to come up to join it. If you need to, grab a pillow or something, you can have a cushion underneath the head. Hands coming either palm to palm, or it could be palm to elbow. As you breathe in next time, I want you to open that left arm out as far back as you can. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the hands back together. Inhale, opening up, rolling the rib over that roll in your mat. Exhale, hands come back together. Once more on this side, big breath in. Big breath out. Bring the hands together and pause here for one more breath, noticing that lift on the left side. Then you're going to roll back over onto your back and slowly make your way over into the same position on the left side now. So resting up on that left hip, left arm out at the side, and the right arm comes all the way up and over the top. As and when you're ready, inhale, open the right side. Exhale, bring it back together. Two more, inhale. Exhale, and again, if you enjoy this movement, feel free to take more than the 3 rounds that we're doing. Repeating as many times as feels good for you. Bring the hands back together. Pause here for a breath. And then just gently lifting yourself up away from the mat, letting that roll unwind. I want you to come back down onto your back. Keep the knees bent again, keeping them about hip width apart. Notice how it feels different now through the upper body, through the ribs, through the shoulders. And then bring the whole of your attention down through the spine, down towards the lower back. Notice the curve in the lower back. That pelvis is able to find a neutral position a little easier with the knees bent. This time I want you to bring your hands to rest on your pelvis. We're going to take some really gentle pelvic tilts here. As you breathe in, I want you to rock the pelvis away from you, exaggerating the curve in the lower back. And then as you exhale, you're going to scoop the pelvis towards you, flattening the lower back down into the mat. Keep rolling like this, breathing in, tilt the pelvis away from you. Breathing out, scoop the pelvis towards you. Again, keeping the eyes closed. Really let all of your attention settle on that gentle rocking action. Massaging out through the lower back, lengthening the tailbone, creating a feeling of space now down in the lower body. Once more here. And then we're going to change the action ever so slightly. Let the pelvis come back to neutral. And I want you to pick up the right leg and cross it up and over the left leg. Let the whole of the weight settle over towards the left side of your pelvis. Then we're going to come to rock and roll along through this left side now. Breathing in, let the pelvis tilt away, again exaggerating the lower back. Exhale, scooping it in towards you, flattening the back down. Breathing in. Breathing out. So by rolling over on this left side now, you're hitting all of the acupressure points down through the back of the sacrum, down through that lower back. Breathing in and breathing out once more. Let the pelvis come back to neutral. Uncross the legs, and we're going to take it up and over to the other side. So crossing left leg over right now. Let the weight settle over on the right side of the pelvis and then come back to that tilting action. Inhale, roll the pelvis away. Exhale, scooping it in towards you. Notice if it feels different on this side. If there's a side that perhaps you prefer to roll on. Breathing in and out. Let that slow and steady breath dictate the pace of your movement. Once more on the right side. And then letting everything settle back to neutral. Uncrossing the legs. Again, keeping the knees bent. And to grab a hold of that brick again. Gently press into the feet, peel the back away from the mat, and then slide that brick. So it's on a lower setting now, underneath the lower back. And you'll find there is a part of your lower back that feels almost like it was designed to have a brick resting underneath it. A big flat spot at the lower back. Let yourself just be delicately perched here. Again, knees are going to stay bent for the time being. Have a little adjust, have a little roll from side to side. Make sure that you're happy. And then either take the arms out wide at the sides, or if you enjoyed it earlier, they can come all the way up above the head again. Stretching out through the sides of the waist, lifting into the supported bridge pose here. Close the eyes and take 3 big deep breaths all the way into the belly. All the way out. Let the brick here hold the weight of the hips. Take all of the effort out of this pose. Breathing in and out. The attention really settled in the physical body, in that rhythm of breath. And again, if you're enjoying this, you can hold here for as long as you like. Or just taking one more breath. Before bringing the hands back down to that brick, gently lifting the hips, sliding the brick out, and then rolling the back down onto the mat. Sliding both of the legs out now, and letting those palms roll open at your side as you move down into Savasana. Close the eyes, and allow yourself to rest here for a few breaths. Taking the attention around the body, in time with the breath. As you breathe in, let that awareness sweep from the tip of the toes up through the body to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, let it softly fall back down, crown down to the tips of the toes. Noticing this loop of the breath, inhale. Toes to crown. Exhale, crown to toes. Taking 3 more breaths here. Inhaling. Toes to crown. Exhale, crown to toes. Breathing in. Breathe. again. If you're happy here, then rest here for just as long as it serves you to do so. Otherwise, consciously lengthening that inhale. Taking a deeper breath in, and as you exhale, start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Use your next inhale to take a stretch through the whole of your body, lengthening up to fingers, down to toes, stretch. Oh, making your way over onto your side. And then whenever you're ready, pressing yourself back up to sitting comfortably on the mat. Closing with one last breath here. Big deep breath in, arms all the way up above the head. Exhale, hands come down into the center of the chest. Namaste.